Greetings from Auntie Sue. Welcome to Read Along with Auntie Sue. We will create short writings using Aesop's fables. Everyone is creative, but we should draw our creativity from within ourselves. Let's write an extended story of fairy tales or short stories every day, and awaken your fabulous creativity within you. Now, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, parents and friends, are we sitting comfortably? Then I shall begin. We will be reading the classic Aesop's fable, The Heron. Let's read along with Auntie Sue. Before we start, if you have not done so, please hit the subscribe button if you think this video is helpful. If you've done so already, I thank you and give my word that I will do my best to bring you the best thought-provoking questions as much as I can, and unexpected story endings at my best in order to help you practice and develop your creativity. Thank you for liking my videos. The Heron. A heron was walking sedately along the bank of a stream, his eyes on the clear water, and his long neck and pointed bill ready to snap up a likely morsel for his breakfast. The clear water swarmed with fish, but Master Heron was hard to please that morning. "No small fry for me," he said. "Such scanty fare is not fit for a heron." Now a fine young perch swam nearby. "No indeed," said the heron. "I wouldn't even trouble to open my beak for anything like that." As the sun rose, the fish left the shallow water near the shore and swam below into the cool depths toward the middle. The heron saw no more fish, and very glad was he at last to breakfast on a tiny snail. Now let's extend the story. Think of these questions to extend the story of your own. What do you think the moral of the story should be? Can you justify why that should be the moral? The moral of the story is that do not be too hard to suit, or you may have to be content with the worst or with nothing at all. Do you agree with this? Can you give an example of when this might be the case? Is it sometimes better to have nothing than the wrong thing? Do you agree with this? The heron waited so long for a bigger fish, but the next one to come up the river was an orca. Do you think the orca would be big enough for the heron? Extend the story and make a conclusion of your own. You may want to pause the video. Finally, it is time to present your story. Are you ready to compare your story with Auntie Sue's? Alrighty. The Heron extended story. A heron was walking sedately along the bank of a stream, his eyes on the clear water, and his long neck and pointed bill ready to snap up a likely morsel for his breakfast. The clear water swarmed with fish, but Master Heron was hard to please that morning. "No small fry for me," he said. "Such scanty fare is not fit for a heron." Now a fine young perch swam nearby. "No indeed," said the heron. "I wouldn't even trouble to open my beak for anything like that." As the sun rose, the fish left the shallow water near the shore and swam below into the cool depths toward the middle. The heron saw no more fish and only found a tiny snail. He could not have breakfast, and the sun was high in the sky. The heron waited so long for a bigger fish, but the next one to come up the deep river was an orca. There were other birds nearby, and they were all watching the orca curiously. The orca threatened the birds by splatting water several times, and suddenly, the orca attacked one of them. The heron was shocked and stepped backwards. Whilst keeping the orca in sight, he then nervously moved towards the shallow water. Simultaneously, the orca decided to feast on one of the other birds instead. The heron felt safe as he was at a considerable distance from the orca, but nevertheless, he remained vigilant, standing in the shallow water under the sun until the evening. As it approached evening, the sky was cast with an orange-red hue, and as the temperature of the shallow water dropped, the perch returned to the water near the shore. Upon seeing the error of its previous ways, the The heron immediately jumped on an available big fatty perch. Boys and girls, don't forget, when you are being creative, if a word does not exist to describe what you need, be like Shakespeare and make up a new one. Which word is new from the extended story? Splatting is a made-up word combining splashing and spitting. Technically, this is called a portmanteau's word. Can you imagine what splatting looks like? What did the heron learn from the extended story? What do you think the moral of the extended story could be? The moral of the story might be that given enough time, you will always have a second chance, although there are also risks arising along the way. It could equally be good things come to those that wait. It could even be, patience is a virtue. Can you think of any more morals? If you cannot be good, be lucky. Can you get anything big without risk? Would you like to become the heron in the original story or the heron in the extended story? These are some questions that you can think of. What questions would you like to add? This is an excellent time to think and ask yourself. What questions would you like to ask? Please leave your questions in the comments below. Ask your questions to parents and friends. Share your thoughts and combine ideas with them. Collaborate and then, record your thoughts. Whilst collaborating, were you asked any good questions? Reflect your ideas in your writing journal, including new keywords used in your story. Don't forget, if there are any words that you don't know, please pause the video and check their meanings with an online dictionary. Reflect your ideas in your writing journal. Record your thoughts, including new keywords used in your story.